Welcome to Talmudic Treasures. Today we're learning Yevamot page 82, which discusses an interesting concept called bittul. Namely, that if you have a item which is forbidden by itself, and it falls into food which is permissible, if the permissible items is so significant, there's so much of it, that the small amount is considered to be nullified together with all the other food. And because of that, if one would just remove one portion of this very large amount, then everything else is considered to be permissible, even though, again, it's mixed in with this item in which is by itself a forbidden food. And the reason is, again, of bittul. And it depends on certain laws, if it's nullified by the majority, or a 1 to 60th ratio, 1 to 100 ratio. It all depends on what the item is. However, on this page it tells us that this rule doesn't always apply, even though normally we would say things could be nullified. But if it's something which is a davar sheyesh lo matirin, namely, that right now this item is forbidden and you cannot eat it, but if you would just wait and give it time, tomorrow this thing would be permissible, then we say the fact that now it's mixed in, we do not say things are nullified and you cannot eat it. Again, because why should you eat this item, or this big mixture, in this situation when you can just wait till tomorrow when all of it is 100% permissible? And this is discussed at great length in a different tractate known as Bea. At the very beginning, it talks about an egg that's born on Yom Tov. It's questionable whether or not a person is allowed to consume and eat that egg that was actually born on Yom Tov. And therefore, the Talmud over there discusses that perhaps this is a case also of a davar sheyesh lo matirin, because if, let's say, this one egg got mixed up with 1,000 regular eggs, so even though it would normally be nullified, here we don't say that, because again, if you wait just another day when the holiday of Yom Tov is over, then you're allowed to eat the egg by itself. So therefore, we no longer say it's nullified. So this is an interesting concept that we find specifically when it comes to mixtures and forbidden mixtures. But the truth is, this is something that we could apply in our own lives. That a lot of times we could just get by and we could find a loophole here and there. However, if there's a better way of doing something, even if, let's say, that means not doing it right away, but rather waiting until another time, and then things all of a sudden become allowed and permissible, then that certainly is the better approach. So even though you may find, according to the letter of the law, that certain things are permissible, but it's always better to do things in the better way. And even if, again, there are ways around it, it's better to be able to wait until things are much, much more permissible.